Hey, Therapy Army, welcome to United Real Therapy. Excuse me for my enthusiasm. I'm in a lot of pain, got shoulder pain, and it's running all down my arm, but it's one of those things. But the show must go on. The show must go on.
Hope you get better, bro. That
Man.
sounds
Hopefully,
like
honestly, I just want to get to the bottom of it, what it is. It's one of those things. It's just a bit frustrating. But big up to everybody. Therapy Army, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're 30 away from 7,000. Maybe we could be tonight. We could do it. Maybe we could do it tonight. Big up to everybody. Big up to Steve Malaka. How do you pronounce his surname?
Mahala.
Mahala.
So Nuruddin, when you see my name, ignore the C.
Okay,
The
Mahala.
C is not there.
I'm dyslexic, man. It's what it
No,
is.
it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm big up to our resident. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. The man himself. Jarvis, Cocker, mate. Big up
How
to
you all doing? So good to see so many people in the chat already. And
big up everybody. Big up to everybody. Listen, we're gonna get to the Jim Radcliffe, the snake, and him sharing a bed with the Glazers. We'll get to that later. But let's just kick up with a preview, people. Preview. I think what is a must-win game for Manchester United. I genuinely believe that. I think there's nowhere to hide tomorrow. I think it's an absolute must-win against a team that's on fire at the moment. And that's why Steve Malahai is in the building, because he must have done the watch-along for Newcastle against Villa, and he can tell us all about it, because the only team that physically outfought them this season, and this is according to how the manager of Newcastle was Villa. So we're going to get his perspective. We're going to do a bit of that. We're also going to ask Steve about the fact that he's been watching football since 7 o'clock in a.m. in the US. That is crazy. You're an addict, brother. But big up.
Yeah, absolutely addicted.
Big up to you, man, and big up to you. Honestly, I don't know how you do it, but I love seeing people with passion for football, man. It's so inspiring. It like invokes certain things inside me. So I know you're always passionate. So welcome back on the channel. Absolute love. How you doing, man? Other than that, how many games have you watched today?
I've watched games from Bundesliga, Liga, Coupe de France final. I checked out a game from Portugal when Benfica played. I checked out La Liga. I watched Real Madrid. I watched Benzema just do Benzema things, hat trick.
Wow.
I watched Barca play Betis. Betis were kind of screwed after the red card. Atalanta Torino. I watched AC Milan Roma. Did a watch along on my channel for that.
Wow.
Watched Championship, I think, West Brom and Norwich. I watched. I thought there was one more in there, but you get the gist.
How do you get the time to watch so many games?
Because on the weekends I just kick back, and I have 3 TVs. I got 2 laptops, and I take notes. I take notes on my phone, on Google, on that. What players do I like? What happened? And just kind of my thing, man. So whenever whenever a Premier League club sends a player from outside the league, chances are I know a little bit about him at least. So, but yeah, that's what some people have said. You should be a scout, and I'm like, all right, I'll try it. So I applied for a few things. So we'll see, man. But yeah, thank you for having me on, bro. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, bro. We always have people passionate. We always love having people who are super passionate. So it's always love and light. Always love and light.
Yeah.
But listen, big up to all of you. Please smash a like on the video. There's nearly 80 of you in here. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hit that bell. It lets you know when next live. CM, I've sent you a link if you want to jump on. I've not seen you in a while, King. So, mate, if you want to jump on. Big up to everybody. I'm not trying to emotionally get too much invested in this. What will happen, and we will have to do accordingly. We'll also be talking about later on about the protest around 11:15, meeting up at Deansgate tomorrow, marching all the way to Old Trafford. And then 58 of us are asking the fans to stay outside for 18 minutes, which is every year. For every year, the Glazers have been vulturing on this football club and destroying which is one of the most romantic football clubs in the world history ever. But anyway, who's to say that? I'm just a bit biased if I say so.
No. Dude, you're speaking the truth, bro. And this is coming from a Newcastle fan here. You guys are the big dogs, rough. But like the Glazers are like little chihuahuas. They're not cut for it. They're not cut for it, bro.
Honestly,
it's a bad day for English football because you aren't the only ones with bad ownership in this league. Never mind the country, with bad owners draining the banks out of clubs, treating the fans like crap. It's not. It's nothing. It's nothing I want to see. Sunderland. Okay, I might have a hard time with that one, but like, on a real note, bro, fans. This is why I'm so passionate about the game. This is why I'm so passionate about the game, because the fan support is unbelievable, top to bottom. Whether that's South America, even in the U.S., we have some real passionate fans about the game. In Europe, it's obviously a madness. In Asia, passionate football fans. Africa, they're fanatical about it, and even in Australia, like this, it's a global game, bro.
Yeah,
the fans make this game.
Yeah,
so the fans shouldn't be treated like crap.
Exactly. Big up, bro. FC United Realist TV. Jump on if you want to jump on, bro. Java send you the link. Big up to everybody, man. Big up all the regulars in it. Z, I see Alfie, United Devil. I see everybody. Yes, man. Abdi, Libah. Big up everybody, man. Listen, it is what it is. Big up Eli Lilas. It is what it is. I'll just go into the game a little bit just to give you a little bit of background about the game tomorrow. So Manchester United, Club Captain Had could be fit to return on Sunday, but the fellow centre-back, Alessandro Martin and Rafael Varane remain out for this obviously season. Garnacho is trained with a team. I don't know if he's trained with a team, but he's training individually. And obviously he signed his new contract. So congratulations to Garnacho. I genuinely hope that he sees this as an opportunity to showcase his talent and to improve. I really genuinely hope he uses it as to improve and not rest on his laurels like majority of Manchester United players who have got massive contracts this for the past decade. A lot of them have put their feet up when they come to when they get the big contracts. They put their feet up, get the cigars out. They don't need to try anymore. I really genuinely hope that Garnacho does everything opposite. I think he's been a massive player for Man United this season. Aston Villa could be unchanged for the fourth successive game. Matt Cash, Boubacar Kamara, Philip Coutinho, Liam Bailey still out. Head coach Imar Uhub's injured quartet will be able to train next week. So it's interesting. Let's get into head to head. Manchester United have gone 3 league games without a win against Villa, losing twice. United have only lost 2 of their previous year 51 league games meetings, winning 37, drawing 12. Villa won this season, reverse fixture 3-1. Emery's first game in charge, looking to complete their first league double over United since 1954-55. The Red Devils are at risk of suffering consecutive home league defeats against Villa for the first time in 1930. Manchester United beat Villa 4-2 Old Trafford in the EFL Cup in November, 4 days after losing their league encounter. Manchester United are unbeaten in 14 Premier League home games, longest current ongoing run in the division, 1-11, drawn 3. Their last defeat at Old Trafford was against Brighton on the opening weekend of the season. Defeat on Sunday will be the club's 200 in the Premier League. Marcus Rashford has scored 19 goals in all competition at home. Michael has scored 19 goals in all competition for United this season. The last player to net more at Old Trafford in a single campaign was Wayne Rooney, 20 with 2009 and 10. Rashford has been directly involved in 21 Premier League goals this season, scoring 16 and providing 5 assists. He's only registered more in 2019-20 with 24 goals involvement. Aston Villa have gone 10 Premier League games without a defeat, winning 8 for the first time since October 2011. They have kept 7 clean sheets and only conceded 3 goals during the unbeaten run. It's 6 wins, just 1 defeat in 9 away league fixtures for Villa under Unai Emery, as many victories as all the 19 attempts with Steven Gerrard was head coach. Villa have scored all 20 Premier League matches since Emery took charge, the longest streak. Villa have scored in all 20 league matches since longest streak from the start of manager's tenure to the competition history. Wow. Ollie Watkinson has scored 11 times in 14 league appearances. He needs 1 more goal to become the first player to reach 15 top flight seasons since Christian Benteke a decade ago. So there we go, people. There we go. That is the facts for you. So just let me get this. Big up, Mick Ruby. I see you. Big up, brother. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the therapy army. Big up to
Oh,
you.
it is certainly therapy. Thank you for having me on the show, Nuruddin. How are you?
Yeah, man. You're welcome. You're welcome.
We just
brother.
met the other day in the spaces, so
Yeah.
obviously I've been just finished off a podcast actually with with Jarvis here just now, and just catching up with a cup of coffee and listening to you a lot. So I'm just impressed with the gentleman up there that's watching all this. He's got all this time in the world to watch all the leagues. So you should definitely be a scout, mate.
I'm 22, man. That's what I always tell people. Like, I have all this time. I work overnights at Walmart as well, so you know I don't mind I don't mind losing a bit of sleep and whatnot. But bro, football drives.
Man, you do like that Bon Jovi song. I sleep when I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Bon Jovi. We've already kicked off this. It's called the Musical Therapy Hour.
Living on a prayer. That's what we're doing right now.
We've got Jarvis Cocker. We're talking about Bon Jovi, and then obviously Rick Ashley, innit? Rick Ashley, Jarvis Cocker, aka Rick Ashley. If you know, you know. Therapy Army, you know, coined the phrase. But Villa are on fantastic form. They're unbelievable. They're probably one of the form teams with Brighton. Before we played Brighton last weekend, they are one of the form teams other than Man City. So this kid, Ollie Watkins, since the World Cup, I think only Haaland has scored more goals.
I think it's a combination. Obviously, Haaland top, Watkins second, Isak third.
There you go. Picking up Isak. So we'll come to you, Steve. You play them. You were expecting that. They absolutely bobbed you around the pitch. They did what we did to you, what you did to us at your ground. You know what I mean? It was fascinating, and it could have been more. It could have been 5 or 6 that day.
They had an opening chance in 30 seconds, and Watkins hit the post. 30 seconds. That's all they need.
So tell us about how they played, what they did to neutralize your big threats, your physicality. What did they do?
Biggest thing that they did in that game was they got the midfield spot on to a T. They cut off passing lanes. They were physical, up front, in your face, put in tackles, put in work, but kept a really, really strong, a strong high line in certain points and kept the pressure up. Like, these guys don't let you rest for a second. Wow. It's unbelievable. These Unai Emery is a top tier manager. I think he's one of the 10 best in the world. And then you combine that with Emi Martinez, who I also rate very highly. He might be just outside of that top 10. If not, he's pushing to be in there because he's a wonderful goalkeeper in every sense of it, in every single sense of it. And the mentality as well. You've got Mings, who I don't rate at all, but like now under Emery, he's doing the things. Emery is a proper coach, and so he knows what Ming's weakness is on the floor. Aerially, he's very strong, very, very strong. He'll win a lot of aerial duels. In the 50-50s, he's pretty good. The thing that Mings gets burned on is the mistakes, the passing when he shouldn't, the indecision. So guess what? Konsa, your partner in crime at center back, he's the guy that plays out the ball a lot more. He's the guy. And Alex Moreno as well, keep an eye on him. That is one of the best January signings of the season by a country mile. That guy goes up and down, up and down, up and down. Quality balls into the box, pinpoint accuracy because he's from La Liga. And La Liga are technicians galore, whether that's bottom place, I think it's not Girona. It's Elche, and the top at Barca. It's a technical league. And so for me, Moreno, wonderful, wonderful player. Then they got him at a steal as well. Great price. McGinn does a little bit of everything. Very tactically sound midfielder, physical. Just runs the show. And for me, it's like they're going to bring you a hell of a fight. Yeah, they definitely are. These guys don't mess around. And on the wing, you've got Murphy. Or no, sorry, not Murphy. You've got what's that kid's name? Oh my God, blanket.
Ramsey or
yes,
Ramsey.
Yes, Ramsey. He was tremendous. Him and Moreno were giving us nightmares. We're giving Kieran Trippier fits, and it was unbelievable with those through balls down the left. Feed Moreno. Moreno would put in a deadly cross, and our whole defense was like, looked like lost, looked like zombies. Like these guys are littered with quality. And guess what? Boubacar Kamara makes that team even better, and he's not even available tomorrow through injury, bro. Like Boubacar Kamara is a top player. I watched him at Marseille. Quality player. You know, he's 19 in a Europa League final. They lost to Atletico Madrid, but he still bossed that midfield. Really, really did. So, yeah, Aston Villa have been resurgent. Unai Emery is my manager of the year, and so if you're taking him on, expect a good game from their end of things.
Yeah, big up for that.
Yeah.
So what I saw of the game is that I've seen what he did with Villarreal, how he makes them really narrow, and what I found the most interesting is the position of McGinn. McGinn's positioning on that inside left, like it's almost kind of midfield diamond.
Yes.
Was it Kandonka?
Kandonka, and he was a tackle machine, bro.
Yeah.
Tackles, interceptions, and getting the play forward.
Yeah, so Kandonka and on the other guy, the Brazilian, he was at Man City. I always
Douglas Luiz.
Yeah, so Douglas Luiz.
Again, another rough rider.
And then Ramsey is, and then McGinn is on the right hand side. And the way they like almost have a like midfield diamond is crazy because they're not playing with normal wingers. They let Moreno, so Ramsey comes inside, Moreno goes on the outside, like he says, he's got that technical ability. They go hard on the left hand side. They always go down on the left hand side. So, on the right hand side. So your right hand side would be Juan Bissaka's side, and the combination between Moreno, Ramsey, and at times Douglas to go up there.
Buendia also likes to drift off.
And Gondia. So it's like they completely dominate the midfield. Like they have too many midfield players, technically gifted footballers, keep the ball. What I saw against you guys was the press that was really aggressive press, where they push a high line. Now, I love teams coming to Old Trafford, especially if Rashford is fit. So I genuinely hope that they do that. They go for us. Of course, we've seen that. I'll come to you in a minute, Jarvis, where teams press us and they're very physical and aggressive. Like I always tell United fans, the 4 elements of Manchester United under Ten Hag: physicality, intensity, aggression, and winning the duels, right? They're the 4 elements of Man United competing in games to try to win. If any team shuts us down in all of those 4 different things, all of those different 4 those 4 different elements in our game, then they usually win the game because we cannot keep the ball. When the critical moments comes, we're not good at keeping the ball. But one thing I'm hoping and praying tomorrow is that they come aggressive, and I hope that ball onto to Rashford is on, and it will be Martinez versus Rashford, because if they come to press high, I think we're going to go. I really want Rashford to play on the left-hand side because I want him to have a go at Ashley Young. If you ever watch this channel, I've come back many times. And I would always tell about Ashley Young. Ashley Young used to get sent to the shops on a regular every weekend. He used to do people's shopping, laundry. He used to do a bit of cleaning, bit of dusting in some of these players. Honestly, every Premier League player who played out wide when he was right back for Man United would get him doing chores. Get him to do even his kids' chores. Take his wife out maybe for a spot of lunch. He'd be the driver, he'd be the servant. That's what Ashley Young was. And people kept telling me he's good. He's good. No, he might have been a great leader at Manchester United, but he wasn't a good right back. I'm sorry to say. But on the Emery, it's a different. Everybody's improvement, and this is where me and Jarvis, and it's better to come to Jarvis, aka never gonna give you up. Where's where me and you come to? The difference, what I say to you, and it's on my side. I'm sorry, the data is on my side. I always say when a new manager comes in, the most important thing for that manager is time on the effing training ground. It's time for that manager to drill. They've not been involved in Europe. They went out of the Cups really early. So he has had time to drill this style of play. This is not by coincidence. This is repetition on that training ground again and again. And then having so many days between games where they drilled and drilled.
Mm.
And we know how particular to detail Unai Emery is. So that's what we're up against. Same thing with De Zerbi at Brighton. The way they bring the ball out, and today everybody said, "Oh, they were crap against United. They did this against Nottingham Forest. Did you see it today? 6. It could have been 10. The chance.
Oh, it could have been 12. That game today was, out of all the games I watched in Arden, that was the best. I could not keep my eyes off of it because I'm like,
there you go. It shows. That's why they're one of the best teams to watch. But I'm going to come to you, Jarvis. So we're looking at inform, breaking records. Emery, this is clearly Emery's team. And you can see Mings and Konsa, the levels, how aggressive they are now defending. How he's taken away, like one of the best things about certain coaches that they hide your deficiencies and they infatuate your strength. They will bring out more about your strength. And that, if you watching Villa, that is what has happened. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, as you're saying, you and Steve summed it up perfectly. Aston Villa better than me, so I don't know what to say. But Konsa and Mings, they are great. They are great, but they are also shielded by the 2 midfielders in Dendoncker and the Brazilian guy.
Douglas.
Yes. And they play extremely narrow. They're really tight in their shape. Like I told earlier on Mixed Channel, they play like in a hexagon shape.
4-2-3-1
with the defenders and the midfielders and the 2 fullbacks. They are like moving like a tight unit up and down all the time. So they are almost impossible to break through. And they always play together, the 6, because Unai Emery, he plays in a 6-2-2 formation or a 4-2-2-2 if you like. So they're very compact. They don't play out on the side, and they have really good players in the middle of the field. So they will force tomorrow. They will probably force us to go around on the wings. So that's why I agree with you, Nuradin. Like playing Rashford on the left, that would be the best thing to do, because I don't think our central striker number 9 will have anything to do tomorrow, because he will be boxed in to that hexagon. So even if Martial plays or Weghorst play or Rashford plays there, I don't leave them any chance to create anything. So we have to rely on our wingers. And last game we saw a new side from Ten Hag, because our fullbacks have always gone on the inside of our wingers, but against Spurs they went on the outside, like all-time overlapping fullbacks. So maybe he will continue that against Aston Villa tomorrow, and maybe we will see a little bit more old-fashioned Man United play like we did under Ferguson. So
I mean, again, something else to emphasize Villa. I just wrote this down in my notes. I got my other phone here, and I looked at their results. Past 10 games, 2 draws, 8 wins, 3 goals conceded, 7 clean sheets, and 1 goal there, 1 goal there, 1 goal. They always score. Simply put, they always score. They've scored in every single game, every Premier League game that Unai Emery has managed. So if I were you, if I were you, just like I did, I penciled in a Villa goal before the game even started. And then 30 seconds in, they nearly scored. So I was like, okay, I'm justified in why I said that. So for me, I would game plan for at least 1 Villa goal. I think you guys will score though as well. And then at that point, it's just like, who is going to make the correct subs, tactically tweak something here and there if they're noticing something on this side or this territory or this one or this area or whatever. Who's gonna act on that first and make the correct decisions?
Yeah.
And which players show up as well? You're on mute, Nerdin.
I'll go to the brother. Big up CM, long time no see, King. I hope you're well.
Bless.
Big
Good,
up to
good,
you. I'll
good.
come
How
to
are
you.
you guys?
Yeah, man, we'll do it well. Somebody asked the question. They said, somebody asked me this question. Nordin, why are you not angry? The club's being killed in front of our eyes. I'm like, listen, I'm going to a protest tomorrow. So I'm saving all of that energy and all of that wrath for tomorrow. That's what I'm doing. So I am not letting the Glazer briefings trigger me. Tomorrow at the protest, I'll be there saying what needs to be said. But big up to our brother, first time Therapy Army debut, Mick Ruby. Big up, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Just make sure you go and check out and subscribe to his channel, people. Yeah, very calm, very, very calm. I've checked some of the videos. Brilliant production on the videos.
Thank you, sir.
Anti-Glazer like everybody else who's a United fan.
Yeah, over 90 videos posted over the 10 months, mate. So
yeah.
Keep
So
going.
we're bigging up Villa. We're saying Villa. Everybody understands Villa are one of the form teams in the Premier League. How do Manchester United beat them? Where can we beat them tomorrow? Where can we beat them? Nick?
I think it would be a tight game, honestly. Like, you know, the most improved team this season, according to me, is ever since Unai Emery came, is actually Villa, because they've been creeping out from the shadows. Nobody's been watching them like an underdog. They're currently sitting the same points as Spurs. And what's it to say they can clinch the top 5 or top 4? You know what I mean? Like a 4th spot. We're clearly seeing like you know what Jarvis was saying. They play quite narrow and tight. Sometimes the 4-2-3-1. Douglas Luiz, but I'm the person that I would watch out for is so underrated. Is Ollie Watkins as a striker? Like, you know, he was. If we went to the transfer market and say, would you take Ollie Watkins to United? I'd say any given Sunday, to be honest, right?
And under Gerrard, he looked like a championship player.
Yeah, I want to get to that point. Yeah, because on paper, like, you know, have a fantastic squad, and if they get to keep the same squad for next season, there'll be a force for top 4, definitely. But, you know, big up for Gerrard that came in. He had this squad. It's like you build the foundation and slab, and Gerrard couldn't handle it. Similarly, like Ollie was given the keys to the Ferrari, couldn't drive it, with a fantastic squad on the paper as well. So how we beat him, we went through this, me and Jarvis before as well. You know, I initially had Rashford on top as number 9, but then barring that they will sort of close it down with Mings and, you know, Konsa, I think, I don't know, maybe a Martial will sort of play the link up, play with this back against the goal and just link up, feed the ball in the channels to the wingers, like in terms of Anthony. Will we see like a Rashford? Yeah, 100%. But that midfield battle will be also very important, according to my opinion, because the games are always won and lost in the midfield. So, barring who we will, you know, line up to, Casemiro next to who will start next to Casemiro. Bruno would definitely start as a number 10. But my question mark is who's playing next to Casemiro. Will be Eriksen.
Eriksen, yeah. Eriksen.
So you have a register there that can sort of find the wingers as well, because playing from the wide will be very, very important.
Oh, tomorrow I think Rashford and Anthony were going to be vital in this game, because like Garva says, they play very narrow.
And if it doesn't work, and everything, if it doesn't work with with Anthony, then you can always sub in, like, you know, put Rashford in the middle and put in a Jadon Sanchez. Has been definitely showing a threat.
It's one of these games, definitely, CM, where we have to get the first goal. I cannot stress this enough. I always have to stress it. I'm always like, first goal vital because of the confidence. And actually, our record shows when Manchester United score the first goal, we usually win the games. Even though the other night we saw what we saw, we bottled it against the ultimate bottle job football club, that is Spurs.
Yeah, but our away form has been shocking this season. But our home, it's been 30 games unbeaten at Old Trafford. So I'm just banking on that, you know, track record, and the crowd will be behind, and we will prevail.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the crowd would be. I think majority of the crowd will be. I think there might, because of the protest. Usually, when there's a protest, there's always an incredible atmosphere inside the stadium. Yeah. So I hope it adds to that. Fans vying for the blood. So it is what it is. But CM, the wingers are definitely going to push. I think Martial has to start. I think we're going to try to get the game away from them and then make the right substitutions. But what do we do against a team that are playing? They're almost cheating, because Ramsey should be a midfield player and McGinn is a midfield player. So they're almost playing with a diamond, 4 diamond. Of course, Ramsey, where they line up, is on the left. McGinn is on the right. So how do we get past that? And the way they press. Bruno dropping Tipa is a massive, massive thing tomorrow. And the ball over the top to Rashford, because I don't care what anybody tells me. Ashley Young ain't stopping Rashford. But where else do you think we could hurt them?
I almost forgot Ashley Young is still playing, mate.
And he's doing a good job, because if you're a part of a defense that concedes 3 goals in 10 games, clearly you're doing something right. Clearly the manager, like we said about Unai Emery and what Nuruddin said about what a good manager does, hide the weaknesses, stifle them, make them as non-existent as possible, and elevate the strengths. Ashley Young's a leader. Ashley Young has been there, done that. He's won trophies. He's an experienced and crucial key cog in that Aston Villa back line. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. Go ahead, CM.
Yeah, I think honestly for Manchester United, a big difficulty for us the whole season has been when we're under pressure, how are we able to move the ball, how quick are we able to move the ball, and how we're able to use the ball with a purpose. It's going to be very important in this game because a lot of you guys have already said Aston Villa, they play high-intensity football and they'll look to make Manchester United uncomfortable. So in the middle of the park, we need to be smart with the where we're passing it. We need to play together with the likes of Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno. Everybody needs to know where they are in the midfield. And against Spurs, one thing that, was obvious to me, or I pointed out, was the fact that every time on the counter-attack, when the opposition side committed numbers forward, we were dangerous with one of the wingers making those diagonal runs through the middle. So if we get those opportunities today in the game, we have the players of that caliber that can pick out those balls time and time again. We just need to be a little more clinical in front of goal. And like you said, Nuruddin, that first goal, extremely important.
Big up. Yeah, definitely. I think 100%, but I don't think we did enough to beat Tottenham. I don't think we did. We made use of that. I thought that we played very open. And like I said, the 4 elements are intensity, aggression, physicality, and duels. We didn't win our duels. Second half, they started from the first second till they got it to 2-2. Then they sat back. We didn't sit back and should have countered because that pitch of theirs is quite big, and we didn't make use of that. But obviously, our record has been phenomenal this season. Our record at Old Trafford has been phenomenal. I think we've drawn 3, lost 1, if I'm not mistaken, and won the rest.
I can just echo what CS was saying, my brother, there today. This side, which side? This side and cross side now. Definitely. I mean, for the past couple of games, we've been sloppy, losing the first and second ball in the midfield, right? So even Casemiro is looking a little bit shaky with missed passes, and we need just to get hold of that midfield and make sure that we win first and second balls.
And the thing is, Villa will punish you. I remember an instance in that Newcastle game where they just destroyed us pillar to post. Dan Burn tried to be a bit fancy, do a Cruyff turn. I don't know what he was thinking. He was fooling around with it, moseying around, and all of a sudden, boom! Guess what? Ashley Young came in, fed the ball. I believe Buendia picked it up, slotted in, and it was a goal. Like it's that simple. You cannot mess around and make stupid mistakes and dilly-dally, because they will punish you. They will punish you. They've been ruthless. They've been absolutely ruthless. Past 10 games under Unai Emery. They're phenomenal, man. They really are. I think they could get top 4. If they win, then people will start having that conversation. Maybe.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna bring that on to you, Steve. So I think Newcastle have secured. Who are you playing tomorrow?
Southampton at home.
That's done, Dada. That's good.
With the way we're playing, when we're dispatching teams with ease, typically later in the game, but Spurs was
the counter
first
attack.
10 minutes.
You've got the counter attack. I've been watching some of your goals in the game. You've got the counter attack to spot on. So you're definitely securing top 4. How are you feeling about that? Just quickly.
It's incredible, man. We had Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce a year and a half ago, and now I thought we were going to play in the championship. I thought that was the next title we'd be winning, and I thought that was the next division. No, we're leveling up to the Champions League possibly. I've said since October I think we'll get it. I know Eddie Howe ain't going to be getting complacent because that's the last thing that guy does. That guy eats, sleeps, and breathes being a football manager. He literally puts in 12-hour shifts every single day of every single week. He said it on the podcast, 7 to 7, 6 to 6. Like, this guy is relentless. So, I mean, the way we're playing,
Shout out the Boo Boys who told me Eddie who's Eddie Howe. The videos are on the YouTube there. If you know, you know. When everybody was telling me, "Oh, Jose, who would you want?" and I said Eddie Howe, and people are laughing at me. Well, guess who's laughing now, people? Guess who's laughing now?
And you know what, Nerdin? It's because he listened to the criticism. The biggest one was the defensive side of the game. So who does he go talk to and mentor off of? One of the best pragmatic managers that can organize the defense, Diego Simeone. So it's because he has self-awareness and he knows what his strengths and weaknesses are, and he sets very, very, very high standards. He has said multiple times.
I don't think he just went to Atletico Madrid. I think he went all around Europe learning from different
coaches. Rugby clubs even, to learn about winning culture.
Yeah, there we go.
This guy is he eats, sleeps, and breathes.
You know what? The only things that I think he should be an England manager, me personally, but that's just me. Jarvis, I'm gonna go to you. Who you picking tomorrow? Give me your team. Give me your 11 tomorrow.
I think we will go with the usual suspects. We don't have much to pick from, so we have to go with De Gea.
Well, the $1 million question is: does the Maguire start against a team that presses so good?
No. Yeah, we can't have Maguire anywhere near the starting 11, and he shouldn't even be on the bench because he spreads insecurity through our lines. So I don't want him in our team. I would go for De Gea in goal. I would go for Dalot at left back, Lindelof and Shaw, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So that's the usual back four at the moment. In midfield, I will go for Casemiro and Eriksen, Bruno in the 10, and Rashford on the left, Anthony on the right, and Martial in the 9. So that's my starting 11. But I don't think Ten Hag have any good options. The only thing I could think of is starting Rashford in the 9 and Sancho on the left. But as we see at the moment, all of the other players can't do a job. As you spoke of Maguire, and we have Fred, we have Weghorst.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, so
Fred.
Yeah, so I think Ten Hag just needs to go with the usual suspects and hope they have the day to perform.
I'll stay with you, Jarvis. How tough do you think tomorrow's game is? And big up Stephanie Griffin says, have to convert our chances, control the game like we did in the Carabao final. Do you think we can do that? And how vital is this game to the season?
Well, we need 71 points. I have been saying this all along. 71 points. That's the magic number. But I'm certain that we will get 71 points. We need 4 wins or 3 wins and 2 draws, if I can do my math correctly. So we need to win our home games. But to be honest, I'm very uncertain about this game because Unai Emery, that guy, I think he has a curse on Man United because we never seem to beat his teams. So even when it's Villarreal and Arsenal and stuff and teams like that, when we have played him, so I'm very worried for tomorrow's game. I hope we can get the first goal, but if we don't get the first goal and Aston Villa scores the first, Unai Emery, he will just sit back with the 6-3-1 formation, and we will struggle. We will bang our head against the wall for the remainder of the time. If it's 60 minutes, 70 minutes, 80 minutes, we will have a lot of trouble breaking down Aston Villa, because Unai Emery is so great at setting up a defensive side when he needs to. Yeah.
Yeah, big up to you. Go to you, brother. What do you think? Mick? What's your team? And how vital is this game? I said it's a must win. It's do or die.
It's a must win, Nerd, and it's basically if we win tomorrow, that's our top 4 secured already, right? 100%. Because if you look at the league table at the moment, but I don't think we should focus on Unai Emery's game. I think we should just focus on our game. And I agree with Jarvis in terms of don't disrupt the apple cart already that's working with the back 4, and don't get Maguire close, not even to the bench. To be honest. And Fred also, Fred for me, it's like that Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you get the good chocolate, and sometimes you get that chocolate that stays to the next Christmas that nobody wants. That's Fred. But I agree with you there. Definitely, I echo what you're saying. Eriksen, Casemiro, Rashford to the left. But I originally had Rashford set up as a number 9, but knowing how they are playing Konsa and Mings, they will play very, very narrow. So for us, it's very important that we have a Bruno playing as a number 10 alongside with Rashford on the left. Keep it wide, stretch them out, and basically utilize Martial's skills to play with his back against the goal and just act as the link up. We lost that Bermuda Triangle, what I always call, which is consisting of Martinez, Varane, and then Casemiro. But we also have a mini Bermuda Triangle playing in the midfield, and that is the original one that started the game so well. And that's actually Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. So if those two find each other, I think we're in for a tea party, to be honest. But I'm not confident. I'm confident that we will win because based on the atmosphere with the protest, I'm confident with the 30 unbeaten runs so far at Old Trafford. And it's going to be a tough game, to be honest. It's not going to be a high-scoring line, but we'll get to my score prediction later on, mate.
Nerd and Frozen.
Yeah, he's frozen.
He did. He's like, let it go, let it go, let it frozen.
Is that?
Well, you can do the score prediction now, then, Mick.
Can I?
What's the score?
Brother, for my score prediction, I don't see it usually I go with the Ruby Special 3-1, but I don't think it's going to be a 3-1. I think the atmosphere is absolutely going to be electric. I honestly want De Gea to have a 15 clean sheet in a row to win the Golden Glove, to be honest. He's currently sitting on 14. But I don't see, I see Ollie Watkins will score one. So I think it's going to be a 2-1 United, to be honest. It's going to be a tight game. But it's so important that we get off on a fast start in the first half. We cannot give them any breathing space. We need to play at our football the first 10, 15 minutes. If we score the first goal, we never lose the game. That's it. 2-1 United, according to my opinion.
Yeah, big up. How we have been playing recently shows trouble in pattern, 100%. Villa and Emery are aware and will exploit it without a delay. We have to win and play with some backbone, 100%. Let's see if the backbone's there. To me, Erik ten Hag has gambled. Let's see if his gamble pays off because, like I always say, new manager starts with a football club. You need time in a training ground to do the drills, to the patterns, to get your coaching methods across. And I think he's gambled. So let's see if his gamble pays off. I like a gambler.
Yeah.
Fergie was one of the greatest gamblers. So we're going to see.
The thing is, mate, he hasn't had time. We played 57, 58 fixtures. We played Europa League. We played all the cup games. We haven't had, we literally played 3 games in a week. There's no chance you can practice drills, yeah? That's the way I see it, right?
Yeah, big up to Richie 63. He says, this is Everton fan, if I'm not mistaken. We don't win against Leicester. We're down Brighton, City, Wolves, Bournemouth. We need three wins. Wow. Big up to you. I've got a soft spot for Everton. I've got a lot of my friends who are Everton, diehard Evertonian fans. So, you know what? I just hope. We know most of you know I went to university in Liverpool. So it is what it is. Big up to everybody. CM, quickly give me your team and then the score as well.
I'd agree with a lot of what Jarvis and Mick are saying. It's going to be a slow grind, I think, from now until the end of the season because, like what Mick said, again, we've played a lot of games. We haven't had much of a break in between. I think this pre-season is going to be extremely important, and I'm glad there's not really an international competition in that regards that will take up and occupy the players. But going from now until the end of the season, in games, we're going to have to pick spaces where we exploit teams. We're going to have to concentrate a lot more because we in the last few games we haven't done that, and teams have been getting in behind easily, and they've been getting the best of us all over the pitch, to be honest. So we need to pick our spots where we can be physically dominant, where we can play the ball forward and play it with a level of accuracy that will open up teams and move off ball a little bit in the forward areas, because I think at times it can be a little stagnant. But it's going to be a difficult game. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a narrow, maybe 2-1 victory.
Yeah, big up. I think it's got draw written all over it. Me personally, I think I wouldn't have any Maguire anywhere near this team. I'm not having that. I'm not having it for any of the games for the feasible future. Maybe if we're winning and he comes on and they try to throw balls in the air. I don't think Ollie Watkins is underrated anymore. I think that only second to Haaland since the World Cup. I think he's definitely put himself on the market and put himself on the map. It's going to be very interesting, but first goal very crucial for me. And I think what you're talking about, this is what I'm talking about, Super Nick. All of the different things we've been doing and the good play is gambled too much. And I warned against this. And I've done 8-9 videos on this channel alone saying we don't have the strength, the depth, and the quality. I like a gambler, like I said. And if Man United do not make it to top 4, then it's all on Ten Hag for me. It's definitely on Ten Hag. I know the players are not the quality. I know that already. I know that before even Eric Ten Hag knows. I know what these players are capable of. What has been really worrying for me lately is Casemiro's form. He's been absolutely woeful and shocking. Guys, there's over 200 of you in here. Please subscribe to the channel. We are 30 away from 7,000, which is an achievement for this small community, radical community. We are the radical little dark corner from Manchester United fan base. You get live, raw reactions. That's what you get here on this channel. Live, raw, real, passionate, sometimes over the top. But you know what? We can never be accused of sitting on the fence or not having an opinion or having different opinions being challenged. I'm thinking a draw, but Manchester United have to do everything to win tomorrow. I just want to come on quickly to the Glazer protest. I've not made many videos. Obviously, I've had a bit of a shoulder pain, but other than that, I've stayed away from all of this kind of clickbaitery thing about Radcliffe. 1 minute is people were telling me like 3 months ago, oh, Jazim Qatar by March. You know, the end of March, the beginning of March, and I was like, what do you know? All this in the know, all these people that are clickbaiting, all these journalists are doing what they're doing. When people are supposed to have signed the NDA, how do they didn't know the figures? I find that I think is a lot of PR and spin. But it looks like there are a lot of different journalists all telling the story that the Radcliffe, that's his new nickname now. Jim the Radcliffe is literally getting into bed with the Glazers, which I'm not shocked by. If you know anything about Ineos, if you've done your bit of due diligence and you've seen the record of them, you've seen the anti-union busting laws, you've seen the not paying the tax. I mean, he moved to Monaco. It shows you Jim is the local lad from Manchester. It shows to me everything you need to know about the Glazer ownership and the fact that he's willing to get into bed with them. And I do not want him anywhere near my football club. But it looks like things have conspired. And it looks like he might be getting a club with Glazers. He might be, because that's what the clickbaiters are reporting. Neil Ashton is doing his thing tonight with the internet people, so big up to you. Which is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. And I'll stay with you, CM, and then we'll go back around. What do you think? What are you thinking about Jim Radcliffe and his environment? It's called greenwashing, what he's doing. You know, Ineos are one of the most toxic corporations in the world that damages so much to the environment. They make so many chemicals that damage. It's serious. It looks like Neil Ashton's at the wheel tonight. It looks like Neil Ashton for messing with my internet. Oh, yeah. But go ahead, CM. What do you reckon about the greenwashing and Jim Radcliffe?
honestly, there's been a lot of red flags for me just reading the numerous stories that have been going around. A lot of contradictions in between different journalists reporting this and reporting that, but the Jim Radcliffe situation, it doesn't sound good at all for him to be owning Manchester United. I mean, I've heard that he's flexible and doesn't mind keeping the Glazers on. It's not good for Manchester United, not one bit, because as long as they are there, they have the ability to influence what goes on within the club. And for Jim Radcliffe to initially come out and try to appease the fans by saying he wants to take them back to a certain situation, and then you find out something like this, he's disingenuous in the end of the day. So it's one of those situations, and it's been interesting through this journey, because at times I tried to distance myself from this ownership situation because you don't know what's true from false. But at the same time, we've gone through a situation where a lot of journalists out there have tried to almost blackball Qatar and these Middle Eastern contenders because of what they are doing in their side of the world. But nobody's been speaking about Sir Jim Radcliffe, his company Ineos, and what they do around the world, in this country, in many other places. So there's a lot of hypocrisy, there's a lot of PR spin in the end of the day, and we see it all the time with Manchester United, because it happens after a loss, after a win. Anything bad that happens, anything negative that happens around the club, I guarantee after the protest, there'll probably be something else that comes out after the game trying to distract you from what really happened. That's just been Manchester United over these last several years, and it's a shame because it almost takes away from what needs to be done on and off the pitch. For a long time, all we want to see is structure within the club of Manchester United. Structure not just on the pitch but off the pitch, so that we're organized, so that we can give ourselves the best possible chance to win. Not just the men's team, the academy side, the women's team as well, because you need to have organization, you need to have structure, and it needs to be strict in order for everybody to understand their role, everybody to understand what they need to do. So, I'm all for getting the Glazers out, but it's important you get the right people in that can analyze and have the right intentions, because what I've heard from this evening, you have Sheikh Yassim who's coming in, and his bid includes potentially his promises of investing within the club, but also getting rid of the debt. Whereas you have Sir Jim Radcliffe who wants to inherit the debt. How will that affect the investments that he could potentially make in the club, in the numerous departments that exist?
Great point, Jim.
No, and look, like I said in the beginning of the show, I am a Newcastle fan, but first things first, I'm a football fan. And the fact that I'm looking at the Premier League and I'm looking at English football, and I'm noticing a very worrying trend. And that's the fact that we all like to look at the Premier League and be like, isn't it amazing? Bournemouth can bid for Zaniolo while AC Milan want him. Isn't that fantastic and all this? Well, guess what? It's because the clubs are using them as cash cows, bro, and they're not actually putting their own money into things. They're using Everton, Spurs, Liverpool are being used by their owners. You guys definitely are and have been for God knows how many years. I mean, Newcastle were in that boat. Aston Villa as well. They have new owners. Now they're the third richest in the league, but they're about the football. Hence why they hired Unai Emery and actually brought in very good professionals on the board level for this thing. So I've just named you a bunch there, and I probably forgot a few. Let's go back 20 years. Leeds with the former Chelsea owner, Ken Bates. Complete shambles. He got them relegated to what, League One? So this is a worrying trend, guys, and it can happen to any one of our clubs, and it's not something I want to see. But the problem is that because I follow European football and world football in general so intently, I look at how fans they're completely different in England to they are in Argentina. There are things in Argentina that if you do as a player, the fans will want your head on a stake. And I'm not joking. You go to the Balkans, the Balkan nations, Serbia, Red Star fans, they don't mess around. Partizan Belgrade.
No, they don't.
Even the Swedish clubs, AIK, and these guys, they've got some mean mother effers that if the club is even slightly, it doesn't
The
even
Black
have to
Army.
be it does not have to be anything major at all. It could be the slightest little thing. If you sign a player from a rival club, if you let the standard drop just a little bit, you're done. You are done. And it's not cool with the violence and stuff. I get that, but that does show intention, by the way. It does show that people are willing to go to such extreme lengths and how much football means to people. People don't just do this on a whim. Like, it's very worrying that English fans, I just feel like we gotta kind of go to that ugly side every once in a while, just because you just look at other countries. Like, I watched FC Nantes. They're about to get relegated to Ligue 2, in my opinion. And they just got blitzed in a cup final by Toulouse. It's Toulouse's first ever major trophy. They got blitzed in the first half 4-0. Those Toulouse fans do not mess around. They are, all those players, manager and their owner Kila, the Polish businessman, is in deep, deep, deep trouble. I know when my club Strasbourg go to the Stade de la Beaujoire, there's going to be flares on the pitch. There's going to be people kicking the fuck off. It is not going to be a pretty picture. It is really, really not. And it's one of those things where, again, the violence isn't cool and all of that, but just things like you need to pay attention to every single little thing about your club. And if something doesn't fit, speak the fuck up. Speak up. Do something about it.
And you know, one thing I will say is a massive problem, at least what I've experienced through Manchester United fans or online, at least, is the way we interact with each other and how we interact with each other. For some reason, there seems to be a level of competition between, I'm not saying all fans, but a lot of fans going back and forth, trying to prove that I'm right and you're wrong. Whereas we have to realize that in the end of the day, we're all watching the same team. We're all supporting the same team. And there seems to be this toxic attitude towards Manchester United fans, one another, whereas there should be unity. So whenever things like protests happen at Old Trafford or in other places, those things aren't sustainable because everybody ends up shouting and reciting the words of protest for one day or a couple days or over a weekend, and then everybody goes back to normal, yapping at each other and arguing with each other.
100%, 100% CM. Go ahead, Ruby.
Listen, I'm trying not to be emotional, but I'm going to go on a rant now, right, regarding the Glazer takeover, right? I've been keeping my powder dry, not going too excited or Qatari or Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And if you asked me 1 year ago if Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in with this bid, I would snatch his hand and say thank you. As long as we get the Glazers out, nowhere near to the club, right? But now we're in a position where we fans can do due diligence, meaning that we could actually evaluate each bid, right? That's what we're doing right now. And I get this, like, I don't want Qatari. Yeah, I want a British-born, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? No billionaire has clean flour in the sack.
None.
You know what I mean? None. They don't care. They're all
none.
part of the same Davos club, all the jazz, the millionaires club. They know. But, I'm going back to one thing only. And I keep my powder dry. But Neil Ashton, we all know who Neil Ashton is, right? He's spinning his plates right now to full capacity on 90 RPM, like a mad DJ on some certain substance at the moment. And what I'm trying to say is that I contra Mike Keegan, who has been, according to my opinion, fed by Qatar, right? Fed by Qatari stories. So what we're seeing right now is normal. It is normal gamemanship. And I told you guys before that don't fall for this media spin, because at the end of the day, there's an NDA. And I'm just going to the breaking news, what Keegan said earlier today. They said, Ineos, you got to read between the lines. Don't just read headlines, right? You got to call a spade a spade. Because at the end of the day, these are transfer journalists, sports journalists that's taking a crash course in bidding, right? But the ones that are involved in this bidding process, it is Rothschilds, which is Rothschilds Bank that are representing the shareholders, Latham and Watkins, which is the Manchester United PLC legal representatives, and also Rain Group, right? Rain Group are the bridge. But when people sign an NDA, everyone knows what NDA. There's no freaking way. I'm sorry, I'm not going to swear in your channel because I don't want to get your YouTube algorithm.
No. Keep swearing as long as it's not the first few minutes.
No, but Mike Keegan
fair.
consultant. I find it fascinating first that you have breaking news that is a world record bid. You know, I've been saying this, right? This third bidding was never a third bid. It's been a 4 weeks of negotiation when you have your due diligence check, where you have the preferred or mini exclusivity, right? Even if it's Ramadan, that doesn't mean that people are taking a break. There's people that are working 24/7 on this deal that are not Muslims, right? The communication just doesn't stop, right? Before the Qatari went on Sir Jassim went on a break, they put in a substantial bid, which is 200% over evaluation. So I'm just going to read out what Mike Keegan is saying here, and watch my words here. Like, you know, Ineos valuation, repeat, valuation of Manchester United is higher than Sheikh Yassim in final bid. Mark this word, evaluation. What does it mean? Right? Is how you evaluated the overall share price, which is the earnout clause at the end of the day, right? Could well prove significant preferred bid expected 7 to 10 days. Now, this is speculations to me, right? Since he wrote this story, then every Tom, Dick, and Harry within this media thread is copying, pasting, and tweeting. It is all about gamemanship at the end of the day. What I'm saying with the NDA, nobody has, unless you're sitting there and cited those two bids, you can comfortably say and tweet it out. And that's why I call it a BS. That's why I'm calling a spade, right? Right. And Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I'm sure you're not watching this, but if you're claiming to be a Manchester United boyhood fan, you know what the feeling is, because your initial manifesto was to invest in Manchester community, to build the community around the club. Now you know how we feel about the Glazers. Why would you go and do that thing? Why would you let them to stay with 20%? Now, what does it mean with them having 20%? Does it give them any power? No, it doesn't. What you typically see with this scenario is what Malcolm Glazer did post 2005 when he invested a minority as a long-term investment, like you do with Bitcoin or, you know, stock market as a layman's term. So you can see your asset grow, and then maybe in 10, 15 years, you double up your money, right? But we know Glazenomics, all it matters is money. So if somebody slaps $7.3 billion US on the table, take it or leave it, or you will remain with no voting power, maybe one seat, but this is barring that your 20%, depending on the club, is performing. You know what I mean? So it does not make any sense at all. To me, it doesn't. Now, if this is the last throw of the dice, that's desperate. That's a punch in the solar plexus for the United fans. And if you claim to be a United supporter, you're not. But on the other hand, as well, Narradin, sorry for ranting, what I'm calling with gamemanship is it's pretty much Neil Ashton. And remember, these people have PR teams, and they will leak it up to the press just to test the pulse survey. I call it pulse survey because at the end of the day, it's all about divide and conquer, right? So you can also see that you have a protest coming on Sunday, right? So you can leak it out to amplify this protest. This can come from the Qatari side as well to amplify the protest, to be honest. Because the first leak, rest assured, it came from the Qatar side, right? About Sir Jim Ratcliffe's smear campaign. But we know that ain't good enough, right? You can buy a Ferrari, but you need to you need to continuously put fuel into the Ferrari to race it, right? I can understand that Sir Jim wants to buy the Ferrari, but he's not competent or has the right resources. Because if you leverage, you say, okay, I buy 69%, right? The rest I will borrow on Ineos. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
you borrow on Ineos and you take it on Ineos, right? It's called, like, you know, taking the bonds, right? Because the credit is owned by Bank of America. So you're going to take that. But where's that money coming back? Because sooner or later, you have to claim back the debt, right? So it's not going to be debt free, what people are saying, right? You're initially going to clear the debt so you can free up the FFP so you can go spend in the summer, right? But it's not enough because within any private investor that will go in within 5-10 years would seek return on investment. So technically, it's not a debt free. That's what I'm saying. So I'm calling a spade a spade,
it's never been debt free. I think 100% you spot on with everything you said.
Yeah,
it's never been debt free. It's never been debt free, and And the way he does things with business is the way they're always going to ask for a return. I mean, he's in his 70s, and people thought maybe Radcliffe, apparently he's worth 12 billion, but then how much of that is in cash? You know what I mean?
Besides property assets.
It's asset. So what I want to say to the United fans, just keep calm. You know, don't fall for this media spin, please. I know we read headlines. I know we're checking our phones constantly, every minute, refreshing. We want news now. We're living in this world where information is key, right? Give me now. Otherwise, we break down. But please, there is a process. And what I wanted to say that, you know, I don't want to believe this story, what's coming out, and therefore I'm saying just, you know, wait, because they're not going to announce it. We're not going to announce it. The only way it's going to be announced, it's by a club statement, right? I believe from now on it's going to go very, very fast, right? It's going to go very, very, very fast because that exclusivity and the deadline, what people have been talking about, it's never been a deadline because it's not a linear process. It's been a bilinear process.
That's what I've been telling people, but people have been telling me I'm wrong.
But the
it's because
deadline
of
been
most
created.
recent sale of Chelsea, and people think that there's deadlines, but it's nothing like the Chelsea sale.
No, it's not a transfer market. This is what the journalist is creating. They created this phantom. This phantom that it's a deadline, blah, 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 right? In the meantime, within this 4 weeks period, this is something called letter of intent. And letter of intent is something where both parties are going back and forth. What about this? What about that? Until they come to a final agreement. So if they accepted the bid on Sheikh Yassim's side, which I believe is about 7.5 billion US dollars, which is way, way, way freaking too much. It's over 200% of our value. So I don't understand how Keegan come out and say that based on the evaluation, but you got to look at the overall package. The overall package, including clearing the debt, including the infrastructure, including the asset deals, because you also have land banks around Old Trafford that's worth, right? And also sweetening the deal to say there's got to be a contingence for the Glazers, right? If Qatar is gone in to say, look, you know what? If we get the club, we open up the doors for you to do business here. Yalla, brother, come in here, do business as much as you can. But if you stay there, you might get a few bucks here and there, like within 15 years. It doesn't make sense from a Glazonomics perspective, right? Because we know cash is king, and they are liquidation almost in US as well. They only own assets, they don't have any cash. So they're basically forced to sell. Their backs against the wall. We've seen the financial books. And all I can say is follow the money and keep calm.
Yeah, there you go. Big up.
Yeah.
I've been saying that all season.
Just keep it real, man.
It was time for them. Go ahead, Jarvis. I'll let you come in. Big up. Hype mode says, I'd rather go skinny dipping with Michael Barrymore than Jim the Rat. It would be a save. It's safer.
Can I say one more thing, mate?
Those who know Michael Barrymore, but we don't want to invoke that. But you know.
Mary, can I just say one thing more, right? Regarding PR, you know, everyone wants to utilize Manchester United. It's going to be the biggest story in century, all right? So who wants to associate themselves with PR? I had Siliakos on I drilled him on his space as well. You know, he was never in for Manchester United. It was just PR.
He was promoting, wasn't he promoting a social media company?
He was, of course.
But by the way, on this channel, he's known as Silly Ass. Silly ass.
Yeah. But one thing that you need to know that, you know, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, like if it's down to the money and the Glazers or the Rain Group are choosing the biggest bid, he came out and did an interview with I think it was Financial Times or Forbes or something, right? Just even summer when he said, well, I came in too late for the bid. You know, if Manchester United is for sale, I will definitely buy it. But Joel and Avram are nice guys, right? If you remember that interview. Mm-hmm. So if that was the highest bid for Chelsea, I don't think he never put a bid in the first place, right?
No, he went. So basically, just to explain that process, he went extremely late, never followed any of the part of the process, did an interview with one of the BBC sport journalists. On the BBC.
I want to land on the point, though. That's to say that as soon as he put in the first bid, his representative to announce that they are going to launch a bid for Manchester United. About 2-3 days later, they won a contract for a fracking gig in US. So they've been basically utilizing Bank of America and everything else to get into the fracking industry in the market. So that's what you call greenwashing, right? So utilizing, I didn't even know who Sir Jim Ratcliffe was 1 year ago, 2 years ago. You know what I mean?
Oh, I've known about him and his mediocre Nice project for a while.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to put some alternatives, like, don't take my words for factual, but when you look at it with logic and reasoning, and you look at the timelines, and you follow the financial market, the spikes and everything, ain't lying, mate. It ain't lying, And why should I then believe some sports journalists who do a tap-in like, Fabrizio Romano, and say, stick to reporting on transfer markets, mate, And one thing as well, that the ones that are suffering at the moment is our fragile Manchester United fans, because media has been dividing and conquer us for years and creating this big divide.
And that's why I've not been going live with any little breaking news, because I
don't want to do that clickbait shit. When I say something that's just realist, like facts, that's it. I don't want to create this clickbait shit.
Yeah, this is the thing. I stayed away from that because I know that it feels on the emotions, and it plays with a lot of the mental health. Jarvis, what do you think? How do you view this? We want to end soon, so it might be your last word on this, and then we'll go to Steve, who has had a new owner. So we'll finish with Steve, but we'll go to you, Jarvis.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say, Jim Ratcliffe, he got investors. And what does investors want in the end? They want to have a
return investment.
Yes. They want return. So in my mind, I can't understand why you want to invest in the Glazers, because we know the Glazers are stained. They are marked by the fan base. If the Glazers stay, even if they don't have any voting rights, any influence at all, if they're just staying there for 20% or 15% or 10%, the fan base won't go lightly on them. They will keep on protesting. Yeah. They will keep on boycotting. Adidas, Tag Heuer, the Red Wine, the Team Viewer, everybody will keep on protesting against them and boycotting them and telling them our peace of mind. So I can't see any investors going into bed with the Glazers. That will be a financial suicide in my mind. But who knows what this story brings? I'm looking forward to the end, but I really hope that we are getting rid of the Glazers.
Yeah, big up Jarvis, big up to everybody. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm trying to save my energy and not scream and shout. I'm in a bit of pain as well, but I'm saving it for the protest tomorrow. I'll say this, and I'll say this thing on the Glazers. Like, I refuse to get involved in it. They tell us that NDA has been signed. They tell us all this and that has been done, and all of a sudden, then it's PR. So the PR, Jazim PR, Ineos PR, Neil Ashton PR. And then you've got the Glazers doing their other PR as well, people who want to be in favor with the Glazers. So it is what it is. We will know time. We just got to be patient. Like Nick Ruby said, we need to be patient because everybody wants to know. But we've got a guest on, and I'm glad that we've got Steve on, because Steve remembers what it was like to be a year and a half ago. They were going to the championship, like he said earlier on. And now they're in the Champions League. And what having new owners, new vision, getting competent people in the right places, hiring the right types of people, and then moving along. They have basically took advantage of Liverpool and Chelsea collapse this season, and Newcastle are there on merit and are there fair and square, and everybody's enjoyed and watched them. So how does it feel to know that when you had toxic, one of the only other club in the Premier League that I could say had similar toxic manager was Newcastle, genuinely, like that. The levels of toxicity was there. But Steve, how does it feel? And whatever happens with Manchester United, we hope and pray, we ask the universe and we ask Allah to bring about a swift and a quick, because we, in terms of it's already interfered. I think that the transfer window is ruined because usually agents start talking to players around March. So if this drags on, it's going to be what it is. But how does it feel? Tell me about, obviously you're in the US. but I know you're a diehard Newcastle fan. You support other clubs in France as well, but you love Newcastle and you can't believe what's happening. But how has the atmosphere changed? I know that you're in a Geordie circle, so how has it changed?
There's the bare bones basics of it is just looking forward to going to games, looking forward to seeing who we sign in the transfer window, looking forward to challenging ourselves against Europe's biggest and baddest, and having St. James's Park with war flags back again, with people just believing, like just give us a chance kind of thing. It's just like, for me, I don't understand why people aren't more vigilant to get their owners out, because it's like, you see what we're doing. It's not by accident. It's not like we changed owners. We just got lucky. No. Objectively, Mike Ashley was a horrible football owner. And objectively, we've got very good owners. And you can see that. And it's objective because of the results. It's objective because of the results and the recruitment and who we're able to attract and the progress our club is going. Last time we were in a Carabao Cup or any sort of cup final was 99 against your treble winning side. So if that doesn't also speak to it, I don't know what does. I don't know why people can't see this. I don't know why Spurs fans don't actually demand Levy out. Everton fans are doing every single thing they can to get Mashiri out because they have hit rock bottom. Absolute rock bottom. They're championship bound with a whimper, by the way, because their whole side was constructed by people who don't know football, by people not meant for that role. Like, it's not even, there's no coincidences or miracles in football without there being some baseline reason. And it comes from top to bottom. A fish rots from the top down sort of thing. So if people want to be as happy as I am, and other clubs like Aston Villa who are on the way up and up, they have the third richest owners in this league, by the way. So if people think that they can just poach players off them, I've got another story to tell you. And guess what? If you poach players off them, they'll probably get a better replacement because they've been doing well with recruitment as well. It's for me. It's chalk and cheese with the Mike Ashley era. It's chalk and cheese. It's just like, it just gives me some belief, and I'm actually happy watching my side, and I'm actually happy to buy stuff online. I'm happy to go. Newcastle's coming to the U.S. I'm gonna drive down to Atlanta, which is an 18-hour drive, 1,000 plus miles, just to see Newcastle play. Am I doing that for a Mike Ashley team? I'm not giving him a penny. Hell no. I didn't buy Puma kits. I only got these because I got them off eBay when we got taken over by PIF. It's like, it is what it is.
I think you summed it up there. I genuinely think you summed it up there. I think we can see the happiness. We can see how you're coming for Man United these days with your trolling, Eric Ten Hag. We can see all of that. Your whole fan base is.
To be fair, I rate Ten Hag. I rate Ten Hag.
Listen, your whole fan base is behaving like you're part of it now. You're in the club. You're rewinding the times to Bobby Robson in the Champions League. So definitely,
and you know what? It's all fun. And you know what? It's just because we haven't had that feeling in so long, so we are getting a bit carried away. Of course, like
no, and you know what? And so. Listen, you're football fans. That's what we are. The banter is always real. Yeah, no problem. 100%. Absolutely. If you can't get carried away after being depressed with Mike Ashley, then what's the point? You might as well
exactly.
Something else. Yeah, 100%.
Exactly, man. No, but for me, and look, it's just, I'm a consistent person, right? If someone's doing well at their job, I praise them. If someone isn't, I will call them out. Football fans deserve better than these guys like the Glazers, Levy, Mashiri.
Listen, 18 years, and my last message is that tomorrow by 11:15 or the latest 11 meeting up, we'll be meeting up. I'll tell you exactly where people are meeting up tomorrow.
Neil Ashton cut him off.
Yeah, he's talking about the protest, but you know the details, don't you, Mick?
Yeah, Ashley just got rid of me.
Never gonna give you up.
There you go. No, not that Ashley. Neil Ashton, sorry. Neil Ashton. Neil Ashton just got rid of me. So basically on Deansgate tomorrow, we're going to be walking up. So from our 11:15, 11:30, marching up all the way to Old Trafford. It's almost like 2.5 mile, 3 mile match. And hopefully everybody's asking everybody to stay outside for the
18 minutes.
For 18 minutes, which is significant and symbolic for everybody. And I think there'll be a lot of Jim the Rat chants going on as well. But big up to everybody. Love and light. Please, guys, there's 224 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. That's what you can do for the algorithms. And then also, if you've not subscribed, subscribe. And by tomorrow morning or the next day, maybe we reach 7,000. So please get on with it and do that. Join the community. Like I said, hopefully I'll try to take a little bit of footage with my phone. But I'm not. I think I'm even deciding against that because I just want to be focused on the being in the energy with all the United fans, all of us chanting to get the Glazers out till we get to Old Trafford. So most likely we'll be back here tomorrow night with probably me losing my voice because of the march and then of the game as well. We'll be back here. So big up to every one of you. Now, least but not least, big up to all of everybody who in the chat tonight. Big up to Super Nick. Big up to everybody. And we'll see where everybody is. So there we go. Jarvis, Coca at Bowley, BOLE 77 on Twitter. Steve, you can find Steve's at Steve Malaha.
No C, silent C.
Yeah, Malaha.
You know, I'm gonna change. You know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm gonna change my name whenever I go on your show.
Don't change it for me. Don't change it for me. I'll get it. Don't worry. Steve Mahala.
It's all good.
At Steve Mahala, and then your YouTube channel is called. What's your YouTube?
Strasbourg Steve. I did a watch along today of the Coupe de France final and then AC Milan Roma, which wasn't a great game of football, but wonderful ending. Wonderful. So yeah, man.
Listen, he is the watch along king. You can go and check him out. You can also check him out CM 22ENT across all social media, Instagram. He's a gamer, so you can check him on the gaming streams as well. What's the main gaming stream? What's that called again?
Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah,
Twitch.
Twitch.
Yeah,
Twitch
on
over
Twitch.
there.
Yeah, he'd be on Twitch and also he'd be on TikTok as well. Are you on TikTok as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, go and check out the great content that he does with the twins. One of the most underrated content on YouTube, if you ask me. Anyway, he always gives two different perspectives. And last but not least, Mick Ruby has made his United Real Therapy debut. Hopefully, I'll be appearing on Mick Ruby's channel.
It's an open mic, you know.
Yeah. So we'll be interacting on there, people. So please go over there and give the brother a subscribe. Puts out some really good content. Calm, composed, everything which I'm not. So it'll be a nice contrast.
Listen,
I'm on the weekend where I'm in a lot of pain, where all the angst has gone out on me, and I'm saving it for tomorrow for the match.
Thanks, brother, for having me. Like, you know, wish you a great experience and good protest. Keep it civilized. Don't
Listen, it's gonna be. Listen, it is what honestly, it's gonna be what it is. It's football fans getting together to get the frustrations out in it. That's what it is.
I wish I could go. Unfortunately, I cannot travel.
Listen, don't worry. Don't worry. Listen, that's what we're here for. That's why.
You know what I always, if I can.
But I wanted to do something. Sorry, so I wanted to do something, in that is kind of cover it on my channel as well. But I need people to sort of, if I can send out the StreamYard link and people can actually, from different faces and just, you know, live feeds. You know what I mean?
Let me know. Let me know if I can jump on to show you where we are.
Well, anyone that's there, like with a mobile phone, just like you know, it's kind of a watch along, like a protest watch along. You know, I can have Jarvis on as my co-host, whatever. If you're available, Jarvis, you know what I mean. But
I can do that.
Yeah. Big up to all the international fans in it who get up all crazy hours of the night.
Yeah. Trust me, I was in Thailand for 5 months, mate. I was watching games at 3 a.m. in the morning and doing post-match and going to sleep 6 a.m. in the morning.
That's crazy. That's
crazy. So
that's absolutely crazy. And that's why we pick up everybody. But don't worry to all of those. We're going to march for you. Trust me. Your voice is going to be heard and you're represented. And we're one united family. And we'll finish with that. But big up to everybody. Please smash a like for the algorithms. It's not for me, just for the algorithms, so that it lets people know about this channel. Like I said, we bring a community together. Everybody's welcome as long as you're respectful, as long as you keep it 100. We literally love passion. We love contrarians. We love different opinions on this channel because football is about that. That's what is always going to be. But big up to all of you. And like I said, we'll be back with a match reaction tomorrow night. Big up to Jarvis, to Steve, to CM, to Mick Ruby, and big up to Jarvis as well. Never going to give you up. That's how it is. So we're never going to give Manchester United up. There
Nope.
it is. Yep. There
We
it
do a
is.
Braveheart tomorrow structure. We
Yeah.
do like you can take our lives, you can't take our freedom.
Exactly. Rick Ashley's there, mate. Never gonna give you up. We're
In
never
the
gonna give up on
Glazer
Man
out
United. Man.
colors.
There you go. In the most beautiful anti-glazer colours, man. There you go. Newton Heath. If you know, you know. None of this Norwich business. Newton Heath. But love and light people, win, lose or draw. Jim the Rat out, Glazers out, Bankers out. That's how it goes. And big up to every one of you. Thank you so much for staying up late all the way in America, Norway, up Scandinavia. And there's only me and CM that are in the UK. But love and light people. That's what Man United is. The most romantic football club in the world, globally followed by millions, hundreds and hundreds of millions of people, close to 1 billion. Love, light. Thank you so much for Steve.
Of course.
Mahala.
Yeah.
Hala.
Holla.
So go and check out his work as well. Go and check out his YouTube. Passionate about football, and he's inspiring me, definitely. Love and light, people. Peace. Take care. Good night.
Peace.